What is good, everybody? It's your boy Randy Anderson here with another episode 90 of the Average Guy Podcast on the Average Guy Studios. And yes, man, yes. First and foremost, hold on. Let me get to SoundCloud real quick to show my appreciation. Uh, SoundCloud over the last week. Shout out to the United States with 49 listens. Shout out to Mexico with 6 and Italy with 4. Shout out to everybody in the top cities. Hope Summit, Missouri. Montana View, I'm guessing California. And Sweet Springs, Missouri. I've never heard of Sweet Springs, Missouri in my life, but hey, shout out to everybody in Sweet Springs, Missouri. Alright, man. So, on that note, you guys know how we usually do this. We start off with sports, world of entertainment. Get it off your chest is always at the end. If we have any other segments that we usually do, we'll get to those. But, yeah, man. First and foremost, shout out to Lauren for coming through and showing up on the cast tonight. We might have...
What's happening, average guys and gals?
Yeah, man. We might have Corey. Yeah, I'm pretty sure y'all see Corey later pop up a little bit later on. But all right, man, let's talk about Week 9's winners and losers in the NFL. All right.
I mean, I think you got to start winners. New Orleans Saints, man. New Orleans Saints, they went and did what nobody has done to this point this year, which is beat those Rams.
Yeah, there's no undefeated team.
So, I mean, no undefeated teams left in the league no more. What are we tied for the best record now with the Rams?
Yes, sir.
Top in NFL. So, and this was coming. I mean, the last 2 weeks prior to the Rams were looking kind of shaky in some really, really close games. So, I think it was part of course. You know, it was coming. At least I feel that way. I tell you, another winner this week is Ty Montgomery. So,
he went to Baltimore.
For those that don't remember, Ty Montgomery got shipped out of Green Bay because he fumbled on a pivotal play when Green Bay was actually going to get the ball last to try to have a chance to beat the Rams. Guess what happened last week? Aaron Jones, the new starting running back, guess what he did when the game was tied? So I'm sure Ty Montgomery was just sitting back like, told you I just wasn't me.
Right.
Biggest losers this week. I don't know if we had any big losers. I mean, we had the same losers. Oakland.
True.
What's up, Corey?
You funny.
Buffalo, another loser. I get it. I guess we'll give the biggest loser award this week to the Rams. Y'all thought y'all was gonna run the table undefeated, but any given Sunday, like my man Jamie Foxx, any given Sunday, man, anybody will take anybody down. Just y'all week.
They shouldn't expect that. Not in New Orleans. Not in New Orleans on the road. New Orleans is a good match. You know, I picked last postseason when they went on the road. I picked New Orleans to take out the Rams in the LA Coliseum. Now I think if it's on the other foot, now they're gonna be fighting for home field advantage. But if it's on the other foot this year, I think the Rams will hold it down in LA. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, it's just that road being in that environment in the Louisiana Superdome. And, you know, they got, Breeze can fire off quick, but you see, man, even with everybody in the damn building know it's going to be a damn pass, they're going to have to throw themselves back into the game. They're still able to route off about 21 straight out of the game. So, but Breeze is a quick, that's what you got to count on. Breeze is always going to score quick, man. He scores very fast. Even if a game, man, that Saints could be down 21 in the fourth quarter, you know that they're going to be coming back, roaring back, and the game's not over until it's over, especially fucking with Drew Brees. But he is not the same quarterback. He's still still effective, but on the road he is not the same quarterback at all.
Okay.
As he is in the comfort of that dome. So this is where that home field advantage is going to play. It's going to come into play, and I know the Rams got some tough stuff coming up. They got to play the Chiefs, and I got to look at some of their other schedule. But what's to be expected, what I think, if I'm right, and this is without me looking at their schedule, they should have the easier schedule outside of playing Kansas City because the Saints still got to go through the rest of the NFC South, which is, you got the Panthers, the Falcons back at 4-4, back at 500, so they're in contention. And, that's not surprising as far as Atlanta because they always, a couple defensive plays. There are a few defensive plays, man. They could be easily 6-2 right now. 6-2. So that easy. It's just the NFL's that fickle of a game. Things can go sway each direction just off of one play, and so it's gonna be interesting.
Now there is one more tough game that the Rams have, and that's against Philly. They play Philly in Week 14.
Yeah, they play Seahawks.
I think that could be a potential. Seattle's kind of weird this year, man. Like they're
tough.
They're tough, but they just can't get over the hump to actually win a game. To win, not to win a game, but to win the important games, I'll say. But I think that game against Philly in Week 14, I think that'll be a good matchup between the two teams. As long as Philly figures out, why that Philly special ain't working no more.
Too many cheesesteaks. But they have a team. They got to play Chicago, and I don't know how that offensive line is going to fare against that defense. So that's another tough game that I'm not for sure about. So it's about like three tough games I see that the Rams have. All right, my
bad. They'll handle Chicago. Yeah, Chicago's a good team, but they'll handle them guys. Yeah.
Okay. And the team that I'm gonna say, I guess that will be a loser this week is okay. Before I get to that loser, I want to say that the New Orleans Saints are looking into signing. What is his name? That fast? It just slipped my mind. That fast. He's the ex Cowboy.
Dez Bryant.
Dez Bryant. They're looking to sign Dez Bryant. So I don't know about that.
They don't need him. That's a waste of money. You can go get a much better player than Dez Bryant for the money that you're gonna pay him. Nah, unless he's playing for like $1 million, please save your money.
And the biggest losers this week are the Cowboys, man. Cowboys. Hey, all I'm saying is, as a person that plays fantasy, Amari Cooper got me a touchdown. Ezekiel got me 100 yards. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. But yeah, y'all lost, dog. I don't know if Dak Prescott. I don't know if it's gonna be the end for Dak Prescott. Even though his coach or the owner said it's not gonna be end for Dak Prescott, he's gonna get an extension. So I mean, Dak, where you at?
It's cutting out.
You said it's cutting out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's cutting out. You hear that? You hear that? Do you hear that pop? You hear that popcorn noise?
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah, I'm just now hearing.
You hear it? Yeah, I've been hearing it for the past couple weeks, but it's a little louder this week. Y'all be all right, audience. Bear with.
Yeah. But no, yeah, Dak. I remember he used to be good his first year. Second year, a little iffy. Bro, you looking like Alex Smith out here, and that's just my opinion. So,
no.
Don't do Alex like that. Don't do Alex like that.
Why are y'all Chiefs fans so disrespectful to Alex Smith like that? That's disrespectful.
I just said don't do Alex like that. Alex had the highest completion percentage in the league last year.
Yeah, and one of the highest winning percentages since he joined Kansas City. And he took San Francisco to the championship game before they put Kaepernick in.
Guess what?
What?
I'm from Kansas City and I'm disrespectful. And it's going to stay
that you way. Disrespectful.
Damn
disrespectful. Straight. That's why y'all don't deserve Mahomes. That's why he gonna go to another team because y'all gonna find a way to shit on him. He gonna go to another squad. Watch, y'all don't deserve Mahomes.
Hey, I've told
Mahomes
everybody.
Gonna go to the Cowboys. He gonna come down here. He gonna go to the Cowboys
Why would
playing
you lie to
Texas.
yourself?
Texas Tech. How disrespectful. Watch. The second he lose a game, y'all gonna be bashing Mahomes. Oh, we ain't winning the championship.
No.
Watch.
No.
Oh, disrespectful.
Reason why I say no is because he's 2 years ahead of schedule for me. I gave him 2 years. You can ask anybody, like you can ask any of my homies. I gave him 2 years, a 2-year grace period, just to grow into a quarterback. Because coming from Alex Smith and being a starter is a difficult ass job in itself. And I'm gonna give you that 2-year grace period, just like I gave that trash ass dude Eric Fisher a 4-year grace period, because he was a number 1 pick and everybody was ripping and raving about him. I was like, all right, cool. I give him that 2-year grace period. Then he was terrible still, and they was like, you know what? We're gonna give him a contract extension. We believe in him. He's still good. Da, 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 da. I was like, all right, you know what? I give him another 2 years. I still don't believe in him. So he's 2 years ahead of schedule for me. I knew he could be a very good dynamic quarterback, but just 2 years ahead, dog. I voted for him to come to Kansas City before the draft. So that's just me, you know what I'm saying? But everybody else, I don't know about. All right, what's up?
Boy, who's your winners and losers from week 9, brother?
Well, the big winner is the Oakland Raiders for winning the Bosa sweepstakes.
Okay.
Joey Bosa sweepstakes, sending Oakland fans happy, sending the town, and this is for not personally me, but this is for the people in the city of Oakland who have the whole Oakland-San Francisco rivalry going on. They can send the team off to Las Vegas on a good note, knowing that your team got blown out by your crosstown rivals by 31 points in its final damn game. So that's all.
Third string quarterback.
By the third string quarterback. And so yeah, your final time doing Oakland and San Francisco, that's how you go out, and it's under old Johnny boy. Oh man, John Gruden's gonna have to work some magic next year. I say that he's gonna have to work some magic. Losers, another losers. I'm just going through. Winners, New England Patriots. I won't say. Well, no, I'll just go ahead and say, Brady proves again he's better than Rodgers, even though it wasn't necessarily Rodgers' fault or anything. But took him out. Not again, because Rodgers won the last matchup barely, but as far as putting wins, and once again, hey.
I'm not gonna let you be disrespectful to Aaron Rodgers. Goddamn it.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers need to get over 500, man.
I mean, he do.
He need to get
but Aaron Rodgers not the reason they lost their doggone game. The reason they lost their doggone game is because their defense was real damn shitty on Sunday. Defense was real shitty.
Defense or offense? Because it was still 17-17 game in the fourth quarter.
Well, but see, that was just what we wanted. We wanted to see a blowout. We wanted to see a high-scoring game. They going up and down the field. It's a track meet.
High-scoring game or a blowout? Yeah. I told you it's gonna end up a blowout. Shoot.
He did say
look,
that.
I mean, look, this is
one touchdown.
Now, I don't believe in it. But what I will say is that if Aaron Jones doesn't fumble that football, it changes the trajectory of the game.
Hey, they would have found another way to give it up.
I didn't say they would have won. I just said it changes the trajectory of the game. I didn't say who would have won.
What do you mean? They would have had 17 points. Like I said, They would have had
If that
17.
nah, it was 17-17. If they go down and score a touchdown, it's 24-17.
What I'm
And
saying.
it changes the makeup of the game.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They wasn't gonna do that. They was gonna find a way. The Packers was gonna find a way to screw it up. Lord, the Packers were gonna find a way, just like they found a way last week.
Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy.
Can you blame Mike? Can you blame Ty Montgomery on Mike McCarthy?
Yep.
He don't want to keep his ass. He don't want to keep his ass in the end zone.
Nah, man. Ain't nobody listening to Mike McCarthy ass. He over there eating snacks, man. Ain't nobody listening to his
cheeseburger bites. Winners, New Orleans Saints, of course. Losers, Baltimore Ravens. They've had a tough schedule, but man, losing 4 in a row like that, Flacco's reverted back to what he is, and I think they were always on the brink of that. Really, their defense played well, still played well. Just Flacco is Joe Flacco, and mixing that up with tough competition, is they always even in those first games when they went 4-1, those were close games. There were a lot of close games outside of, I think, one they played Buffalo. But they were always, Baltimore. He's got a lot of weapons. Joe Flacco has a lot of weapons, but he's prone to making mistakes. Man, he's got weapons. Oh no, he's got some weapons.
Your boy, who got the most drops in the league right now?
Who's that?
Drops. Crabtree.
I was about to say,
he got the most drops.
Yeah.
You can't blame that on Flacco. You gotta, get some stickum if you need it. Get that stickum if you need it.
Let's see, man. Who else? Another winner is Buffalo Bills and Nathan Peterman going out putting on a great show like they do weekly. Kansas City Chiefs winners. And they continue to ball doing what they do. Patrick Mahomes, man, 29 touchdowns in 9 games. They say that's the record. That's the record most in 9 games. I mean, he's doing what he's doing, man.
On pace for 52.
Yeah. That's he's doing what we expect. Like I said, you don't like to be, try to call stuff early or try to crown somebody or over exaggerate, but this dude's the truth. It won't always be like this because they have outstanding talent around him, so it won't always be as easy. But he's equipped. He's equipped to be an elite quarterback, in this league, and will him through some victories. So yeah, it won't always be as easy, but like I said, so he played great. I really can't think of nobody else.
Before we move on to the next topic, I just want to say this.
Losers, Dallas Cowboys too. Losers are Dallas Cowboys, of course.
Of course.
Dak Prescott, yeah.
Yeah, Dak Prescott, yep. It's Buffalo Bills. I just want to let y'all know, if y'all want to keep playing Nate Peterman, there's a guy that ain't playing football now named Colin Kaepernick. I just want to say that. If y'all want to keep playing Nate Peterman, Colin Kaepernick is still out there. He'll probably answer the phone. Y'all need some help.
And whoever Nate Peterman's opponent is for that week, whoever's got that team as a defense in their fantasy, y'all be a damn fool not to start that team.
Damn straight. Damn straight. All right. So we're about to switch over to NFL, NBA. Is there trouble in LA? And there's also a question that I proposed on Facebook. If you don't follow the Facebook page, it's the Average Guy Podcast. But is there trouble in LA? Lauren, I'll let you go first.
Nope. Everybody want to get that itchy trigger finger, man. When LeBron went to Miami, Same type of shit. When he went back to Cleveland, same type of shit. You got to learn how to play with LeBron. And this is actually the first time I've seen LeBron want to attempt to fit in more and play more of the team ball than any other time in his career. And I think he's understanding that if he can get these younger guys truly acclimated to the game of basketball and lift their basketball IQ, it takes some of the pressure off him. So, I mean, this is kind of what I expected to happen. In all honesty, I expected them to struggle in the beginning while they figured through how to work with each other and play with each other. And then from there, you know what I'm saying, you'll see a change. I'm interested in the Brandon Ingram fit with the team, but you got to make it work. I mean, he's a great player. So you need to do your best to make it work because I think he can be that number 2 option. He just got to learn how to play with LeBron. Kyle Kuzma, he played with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Suspended, Kuzma was putting up 25 a game. 25 a game. I would be done with the Rondo starting experience. I think I would be starting Lonzo Ball right now. Younger, fresher legs from an efficiency standpoint, they're about the same. As far as how efficient they've been, right. Lonzo's shot actually right now is not too bad. Not too bad right now. I think he's shooting, just below 40% from behind the arc right now. I mean, I expected this to happen. I mean, LeBron going from the East to the West, tougher competition. So he's got to understand his competition too. So, this is part of the course. I think after 25 games, if they're still struggling, maybe you could talk about it, but you got to be patient with this process. I know Magic Johnson said, everything is everything. We understand this is a process. I mean, I don't even think while they're not playing to lose, it's going to be really, really hard to win the title this year. I think they're really trying to get the team ready to gear up for next year. They need to go ahead and make a home court press for Klay Thompson if they can get him. I surely would if it was me. I think Dame Lillard be on the market too. So, if you can get Dame Lillard, excuse me, you got to start looking at what pieces you could give away because I'd give up some pieces to get Damian Lillard.
I would too. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So no, it's not panic time yet. Not panic time yet.
All right, Corey, you up next.
Well, it's not trouble in LA. When I found it, I didn't send over the evidence that I saw. Did y'all see the Portland game? And I'll credit Carcino
I didn't see the Portland game
for showing this, but it was in the Portland game. LeBron called for a pick. LeBron called for a pick. He had Nurkic guarding him with the Portland Trailblazers, and Ingram had C.J. McCollum posted up and was calling for the ball, and LeBron called for a pick. And Ingram turned his back and waved him off and went to the corner.
What?
So is there trouble in L.A.? Nah, there's not trouble there on course, but is there tension in L.A.? I don't know, man. Brandon Ingram, man, he seemed like a. I always thought him to be more on the calmer side, but something's really got him aggy this year, man. Something's under his skin this year, man. Could it be LeBron?
Could it be Rondo?
What'd you say?
Yep.
Rondo.
You said Rondo?
Yeah, Rondo is known for getting with the younger players and really getting them to try to be tough and aggressive and things of that nature. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? He just got to learn how to channel it in the basketball way. That's
all.
Outside of trouble, they're not in real trouble. The first 10 games, like I said, they've been against mostly playoff teams. Uh, they could very easily be in a worse position than what they are. Again, I'm trying to get a lot of young guys, trying to get them to play together. Um, they played well in Portland the other night. Got that revenge win on them. Um, just about a week or two removed from that opening night, and where they played Portland close, and but weren't able to sustain. Weren't able to sustain it, but it was a close game. Portland was third in the West, and that's a good Portland team too. And McCollum and Lillard are what John Wall and Bradley Beal should be. They should be together.
True.
But no, they've had a tough schedule. I think they need to get it, like I said, get those young guys. They need to play smarter. The young guys need to play smarter because LeBron's letting them do what they do. He's giving them a chance to shine. He's playing within the offense and everything. Even in that Dallas Mavericks game, I think last Wednesday, they were up by like 17. LeBron went to the side. They basically opened up the offense, said, hey, let the young players go ISO ball and let them, finish the game off. Let them close it out. And they couldn't do it. If it wasn't for that foul by Wes Matthews, they might be 3-7 right now. So, they got away with that one. I know the one on Sunday, I know it was right after a game, it was a back-to-back game. So that's tough, but at the same time, you playing against you at home in the Staples Center and playing against a Raptors team that didn't have Kawhi Leonard for the night, and it's still a good team, but to lose like that and be down 42-17 in the first half is unacceptable. Especially you got all your guys on deck, and like I said, they don't have their star player. But the schedule's going to get easier as we expected, and like I said, they've had this row of great teams that they played against. They took out Denver. Denver's 9-1. That's the only loss that they've had. Jamal Murray just had 48 last night. They beat Boston. But Denver's great.
Kyrie ain't appreciate that shit either.
He ain't appreciate that. Got his ass washed. Yeah, them players need to chill out with that shit. The clock don't stop. The game don't stop till it hits 0. Shit, if it was up to me, I'm gonna keep hanging points up on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Look, all that sportsmanship and all that. You better stop them. You better keep playing defense. Bunch of crybaby ass, man. Beta males, man. But anyway, but yeah, the Lakers, man, they had them, the Nuggets, San Antonio twice, Portland twice, the Raptors. They've had a tough schedule. A good Dallas team that they had played against. The only real cakewalk that they had was their game against Phoenix. And Phoenix has played terrible this year. But that's all they've really had. So now we know they've had that. And a lot of times, even the LeBron James teams struggled against squads that were 500. I think Cleveland had more of a losing record against teams over 500. So he's doing well. He's in the Western Conference too. So this is a test. The Western Conference is stacked all the way up and down. Even the lower teams have a lot of stars. You got Sacramento, Memphis is playing well. Hell, if Phoenix gets those guys together, they have stars on their squad, but they just look terrible. They're coached horribly, and they just don't have any enthusiasm. But I mean, Western Conference, it's you're gonna have to deal with some talent every night. Dealing, playing those teams 4 times a year. But it's gonna get easier. They're gonna start playing Eastern Conference teams, and like I said, they're gonna play some of the lower Western Conference teams. It's still gonna be a challenge, but they should be able to get those wins, and so it'll help them out. They're not in trouble, but the question is, will Brandon Ingram, because Brandon Ingram is losing touches, and he didn't have that much. I'm not sure what he had against Toronto, but I know he didn't have that much in that Portland game on Saturday. And so he may get frustrated, especially the way he's been looking lately. He is a trade. His name is always up for being a trade asset. So.
need to go eat a cheeseburger. That's what he needs to do.
Right, for real. Yeah, he said he irritated. Said he hungry. He hungry.
Hey, what's the Tyson Chandler effect?
I was gonna bring that up. Yeah, that's a good question. Tyson Chandler, he's gonna be great off the bench because I don't think they're gonna take JaVale McGee off the starting lineup, which is wild to me. But he's a great veteran to have on coming from off the great veteran. He's been in the league for a few good years. That defensive presence that they don't get with JaVale McGee, they'll get with him off the bench. So I mean, it's a great sign and pickup. I did see it coming, but it's a great sign and pickup. Lauren, go ahead.
I was gonna say, the JaVale McGee. It's not that he doesn't have a defensive presence. He's affecting shots around the rim. His thing is when he's affecting shots, he can't get down. That's his biggest problem. Because I mean he's averaging almost 2 blocks a game.
Yeah.
It's just that he can't block it and get back to the boards or whatever the case may be. And I mean some of that is probably bad positioning. And then the other part of it is, I mean, if you blocking shots, I mean somebody else gets the damn rebound. I'm doing the other shit.
They tell, hey, how many of those blocks are legal blocks? Have y'all noticed that this year? This fool got 1 block shot. He literally put his damn hand came from through the net and blocked it, and they didn't call a damn thing. Then the other night against Portland, the ball was in the cylinder and he slapped that bitch off of there. Wow. They didn't call nothing. They called it as a block. So, hey, I'm a Laker fan. I ain't going to say nothing, but, because we got LeBron now. So I ain't going to say nothing, but, hey, look, I ain't going to say no more.
It's my team, and you know what I'm saying? I'm a ride with them. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah,
All right. Is there trouble in LA? For players' standpoint, maybe there might be trouble. But for the coaching standpoint, yes. I think all the rumors are actually coming true where LeBron could be a coach killer. And that coach and LeBron aren't meshing together right now. And I'm just going off of what I've been hearing and some of the facial expressions and shit like that I've seen from LeBron and him pushing himself away from the bench and the coach and stuff like that. So I don't know. I say there might be a little trouble in paradise. And then we all know what happened when Tyronn Lue left or got fired from the Cavaliers. LeBron James said, "You got my number. Just call me." So, hey, I'm just saying. They
better not. They better not do that shit.
If possible, next year that's where he could be. He could be in LA.
Be the worst mistake they'll ever make.
I mean, come on.
They better not.
Worst mistake they'll ever make.
Okay, so we saying LeBron is a coach. People say LeBron is a coach killer, but was he saving Ty Lue's job the whole time?
I would say
because Ty Lue ain't get fired on LeBron's watch.
Ty Lue's not a coach. Let's get that clear.
Yeah, you right.
Tyronn Lue is not a coach.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, yeah, he's not a coach. Definitely not a coach. Did LeBron save him? LeBron literally asked for him, and they was gonna do whatever LeBron wanted to do. So I mean, LeBron's like, all right, just give me him. That's fine. Next, what we gonna do?
All right, damn. Ted Cruz won Texas. Beto didn't do it.
You said what?
Ted Cruz.
You knew better than that. You knew better than that.
Oh man, put the comeback on him.
Yeah, it was serious.
Well, we move over to the next thing in the NBA. Is Zion Williams the next NBA superstar? Zion Williams, a young man who has all these amazing dunks and all these highlights and stuff like that. Everybody's talking about him. Everybody's stroking him off. Do I think he's the next superstar? I wouldn't say superstar, but a good great player. He's gonna be definitely a great player, but I have to see him compared to big men, like actual big men, and not just yamming on these little niggas. I gotta see him compared against some actual NBA players, because I understand all the hype and shit like that. Hey, and who am I to talk shit? I'm just a short ass light skinned nigga. That's it. And this nigga is about damn near 7 foot. But compared to actual big men, I have to see that before I can say he's gonna be a superstar. Who wants to go first? Lauren, go ahead. Or Corey, go ahead.
I 100% agree. He's got a lot of talent. Reminiscent of, I've seen the comparison. They compare him to Larry Johnson and Charles Barkley, but man, he's even bulkier than them, man. Especially Larry Johnson. Barkley was more, cheeseburger weight. He was a beast, one of the greatest NBA players ever, but, it's more cheeseburger weight. But, Larry Johnson was more cut up. But Ryan Wilson, man, he's a freak of nature. And way he's able to move, how nimble he is, given for how big he is, 6'6", 285 pounds. He's gonna be something. He's gonna be something in the league, but he's getting a lot of attention as the next savior. I've even heard somebody, I forgot who that was, said he was better the next Michael Jordan.
Okay,
he's the next Michael Jordan, man. So he's outstanding. He's an outstanding player. His vertical, he got a high vertical. Now I say something that said he's at 40, but then I said his vertical is 40, and then I saw something else that said he's 45. I've seen him jump, pretty high. So he can, that's even the 40. That's still good for how big he is. But he's definitely gonna have to get a jumper if he wants to be the best. He doesn't have to. I was about to say to play in the league, but you don't got to. Not to be effective, not especially for how athletic he is, but if he wants to extend his career and be one of the top guys, somebody who's known as the best, he's gonna have to get a jump shot. LeBron had at least got some semblance of a jump shot going for him. So, like I said, he's got to do it against bigger guys. Now they playing tonight. Duke's playing Kentucky, so that this will be his test now, because they were going off of, they had the preseason and everything, and Duke had that Canada run tour, but that that was Canada. Those guys were still small, flimsy guys. So he's gonna get his test here in college, and then it'll probably be one and done getting to the NBA. So yeah, we got to wait and see what he does against bigger guys. As a side note, I was looking up some information, because there's a lot of talk about his vertical and how high he jumps, and it's talking about the highest vertical, the people with the highest verticals in NBA history. And Michael Jordan is on that list. He's tied with a few other people for number 2. His vertical at like 46.5. Yeah. But guess who is listed as having the highest vertical in NBA history?
Spud Webb.
Spud's I think tied with number 2 with Jordan. If not number 3, but you'll never believe who's got number 1.
Muggsy Bogues.
You'll never believe it.
Blake Griffin.
George Mearson.
You'll never believe it.
Go ahead.
Who?
Wilt Chamberlain.
Nigga, what?
Listed as having a list. He's listed. Now, we don't know if this is one Wilt Chamberlain tall tale, but he's listed as having a vertical of 48 inches. And if you look at his videos, then you got to look at the videos they show of him jumping. This dude, I didn't realize. I've seen Wilt play, looking at old videos, but nobody ever really put much attention or focus on how high he leaps. Wilt Chamberlain jumps out of the fucking gym. Jesus. 48 inches, I'm not sure, but they saying, yeah, that's how high he jumps. And Wilt Chamberlain jumps ridiculously high. We're talking about somebody who's 7'1", 2, and back in the 70s when, you know, it wasn't that much, you know, athleticism is getting better as the generations go along. But no, Will Chamberlain is listed as having the highest vertical. That's off feet lifting off the ground. That's not how high you can touch, because of course he's gonna touch higher than most guys. He's 7'1", but no, it's vertical. It said Will Chamberlain has the highest vertical in NBA history.
So when they was talking about I Believe I Can Fly, they was talking about Will Chamberlain. All right.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, wouldn't have guessed that one. Wouldn't have guessed that one.
Check out some videos, man. Check out him, you know, making blocks and different stuff like that. Just look at how high he's getting up off the ground. It's like, damn, you know, 7'1" guys don't jump like that. So that it is recorded how high he jumps.
That's wild. All right, Lauren, go ahead.
Is Zion Williams the next big superstar in the NBA? I don't know if I would use the word "the," but he will be a superstar. I think he's very raw right now, but playing under Coach K, I don't think it'll take a long time to really polish up his skills. He's got a jumper, just never really had to use it because he can always just play bully ball and get to the basket, or you know what I'm saying, he playing up and down game, and he can just run up and down. So I think he will be a superstar in the NBA. There, like I said, he just doesn't have to use it. He showed his jump shot off. He's shown it off this season so far, you know. So it's not that it doesn't exist. He just doesn't have to use it. A freakish athlete. I would say at the next level, that the biggest issue I see would be conditioning, I think, because in college you play, if you include a tournament, playing like 40 games or something like that, whereas in the NBA you playing 82. So, I mean, he's going to have to shed some of that weight. He's not going to be able to play 6'6", 285 and have a long career.
Yeah.
Shed some of that body weight, or at least pack on some muscle. But I mean, he plays some ball though. You got to give him credit where credit's due. He can play some ball. He plays above the rim. I think on their little documentary they were doing, pretty close to touching the top of the backboard. So I mean, he can jump out the gym, you know. So yeah, I think he will be a superstar in the league. He's one of those players that his game may not be for college, but it's actually more suited for the NBA, I think, because, you know, as Draymond says, nobody plays defense anymore. So I think his game is actually suited more for the NBA than college. But, you know, I mean, we'll see what he does. You know what I'm saying? Mike Krzyzewski knows how to coach. Mike Krzyzewski knows how to coach. So, you know, at least he's going to a school where he can get somebody to teach him some of the nuances of the game. Because I think that's one of the strengths of Coach K is teaching younger players that have this immense talent the nuances of the game. So when they get to the next level, smaller, more finite details that, you know, essentially become the difference between, you know, winning and losing.
Yeah. Zion Williams reminds me of Blake Griffin. If you guys remember how when Blake Griffin came out, he was jumping out the gym. Everybody was talking about his athleticism and him dunking and everything else. He reminds me of a Blake Griffin, but that actually has a decent shot while he was younger. Blake Griffin still is working on his shot, but yeah, I mean
he's gotten much better.
Yeah,
he can knock down that three.
Yeah, he's definitely worked on that three and that shot. But yeah, that's what Zion Williams reminds me of. Superstar, I don't know until I actually see him in the NBA for 2 years. But the big men, they're gonna check him like they did Blake Griffin. And now here we go with the light skin, dark skin shit. Because Blake Griffin was light skin, he would get bitched a lot. You know what I'm saying? And since Zion Williams is dark, I don't know
Oh,
if I don't know if they're gonna
ain't
try to
nobody
butch him up,
benching.
but
Ain't
hey,
nobody benching Zion. Ain't
she.
nobody benching. Do you see that dude? He. I feel him when I see him on the television. I feel his presence like that dude. It feel like it hurt just touching him. Like, nah, ain't nobody benching that dude. That dude's solid, man.
All right. And so I guess you would say in the news over the last couple weeks, this is a transgender MMA fighter broke her opponent's skull. Cause I'm trying to be politically correct here. But like I guess this came up before. This came up. I guess this happened like a year or two ago or something like that. But it's just now is being resurfaced into everybody's viewpoint, everybody's view. So, what do you guys believe, or what do you guys think about this MMA fighter that is a man, or was a man, breaking her opponent's skull? That's gonna fuck me up the rest of this time. Lauren, I'll let you go first.
Comical. I would, man. So MMA has all these drug testing rules and things of that nature, and I ain't trying to be no dick or nothing like that, but I would be interested to know how far within the change did this particular individual went. Like, do they still have all their testosterone and all that type of stuff? Like, I would just be interested to know. Does it create an unfair advantage? It depends on how far in the operation they went, man. Like, I mean, I would say yes in theory, because essentially you got to do fighting chicks. but I mean, the reason it didn't come out in the news until now is because could you imagine the uproar it would have caused 2 years ago in MMA? Imagine the uproar it would have caused. And another reason it's coming up now is because everybody's, becoming more socially acceptable with different backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? So you can share the story now. That is a slippery slope. That is a slippery slope. Was born a man, but I am now a woman, and so I want to fight women. And then you busting heads open. Oh no.
Head knocker. Head knocker.
It's crazy.
All right, Corey, you up next.
So we already had an episode, and this is from a couple of years ago, but it's just it's relevant to today. We already had an episode where because of the transgender, the bathroom rules and things like that, and you saw somebody, a girl get raped because of that, ended up getting sexually assaulted in the bathroom. Now you got this, you got this going on, but think about the precedent that it sets, because now, and I believe humans are crazy. They are crazy to think of some shit like this. They could be like, women to piss them off, get scorned by the woman or something, or wife and hit them for everything they want. So they got the money. They like, fuck it, I'm gonna turn into a woman and just beat the shit out of females every chance I get.
Yep. This world is that sick.
It's legal. It's legal. I don't think these people think about the other side of what this is doing, man. It's crazy, man. So yeah, that's exactly what we expect. You know what I'm saying? But they society wants to call them a woman. So I mean, let them do it and let them deal with the consequences. It's gonna be good. A lot more women in here getting their skull bashed in.
Yep, unfortunately, I know that sounds fucked up for us laughing, but yeah, I mean that's this Joanna Man 2.0. They about to make a new Joanna Man. Wow, that was fucked up, dog.
Hey, or not? Dudes always, they get their sister get their sister to hop on their baby mama or something like that. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go grab my sister real quick. Or we could come back looking like Zion Williamson. Go pummel your head in the toothpaste. Yeah, y'all want to talk about this gender? Come on, y'all. Y'all got to have more sense than this. You born a man, you a man. You still got the, you may feel like a woman and things like that. You may feel certain way, but your genetic makeup is of a man.
You are a man, Damon.
So when you put those natural abilities to test, you're gonna get the outcome like that. You're gonna overpower women. I think that's scary. It really is, though, when you think about it in hindsight. And I've actually seen videos of women sitting up here, transgender women sitting up there fighting females head on. You know what I'm saying? And these are men. There ain't no female, no nothing. You're a man. You're born a man. You are a damn man. You're not gonna tell me anything different. So, and if you square up, if you square up with me, I'm gonna beat your ass like a man, because you are a man. I done seen videos to where they sit up there as a dude in the transgender fight, and they talking about, you don't hit a woman. You don't hit a woman. Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about?
This politically correct world we live in.
You don't hit a woman then, but then when they, like I said, they bust your head open like a damn egg on Sunday morning. Now it's a damn. Now you saying that's a man.
Hey, Corey, without saying no names, I think we know one.
No one?
I think we know one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say no names, but I'm thinking. A tranny?
Yep.
Yeah? Lauren, you playing?
Yep.
You playing? Oh!
The look on his face.
Oh!
You notice I didn't have to say the name.
Damn, dog. Like the way he got stuck, he's like, shit. That's like the homie.
I'm gonna lock that one away, dog. I'm gonna lock that one away. Whoa! Okay. That's a bombshell.
All right.
Hey, you know what, Lauren? A lot of people, and I had to go deep because it really wasn't clear. I had to go deep. I'm done. I'm done with it. Oh, Lauren, you crazy. You crazy, dog. Whoa. Damn, y'all. Damn. Okay.
The world.
Back to the show.
Corey's life will never be the same after this bombshell.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. You sometimes you just don't even. Sometimes the stuff don't even cross your mind. Hey, I ain't never. Boy, y'all be thinking like, hey, Corey, what you done did? It's nah, it ain't never been nothing like that. Nah,
it ain't him. It ain't him.
Nah, it ain't never been nothing like that. Nah, but nah, shoot. Nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Damn.
Jesus.
Damn.
So.
Damn. Dog, life is crazy. Damn. Hey, they're still all cool. You know that. Hey, that don't change nothing.
Don't change a thing. Just let you know that people.
But it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. It's like damn, I never would have. Shoot, you know what I'm saying? Hey, damn.
I mean,
damn.
If the surgery was that convincing,
woo,
that's crazy.
Woo.
Cause
back to hey man, y'all can't be fighting. Y'all some damn men. Y'all can't be fighting women.
I gotta agree.
can't be fighting women. No, you're a man.
This is one of those cases where, like, you can't convert. You can't do the full conversion. Can't do it. Can't do it. Like, there's a lot of things you want to go ahead and transfer over. There's a lot of things in life. If you want to do that, do it. This ain't it.
Yeah.
This ain't.
Yeah, you can't be putting your hands on females, dog. Yeah, man. Well, we got Joanna Man 2.0, the new movie coming soon. MMA story. All right, so you want to take over world news and politics?
Yeah. Before we get started with world news and politics, we're gonna have news you can't use. Just some random shit.
All right.
News you can't use. The Girl Scouts have sued the Boy Scouts for trademark infringement.
Nigga, what?
You heard it right. The Girl Scouts have sued the Boy Scouts for trademark infringement.
How is this possible?
I mean, first, y'all said the girls should be Boy Scouts, and now y'all trying to sue. You damn women. Sometimes y'all could be so
fickle,
snaky. So snaky. So, in other news, LaMelo Ball is going back to high school, y'all.
Yeah.
Young Melo Ball going back to high school. I'm not even going to say nothing. Besides LeVar, what the hell is you doing with your boys? What the hell are you doing with your boys? Get it together. Get it together. Now, here's an interesting one. Check this one out. A 94-year-old ex-Nazi guard, Nazi, is on trial for the killings at the damn concentration camps. 94 years old. They got this son bitch on trial.
Yeah.
Damn.
If that is not a goddamn waste of our tax dollars, I don't know what it is. You're going to put this motherfucker on trial now. He's 94. He is getting ready to die. Let him die.
And for what again?
Concentration camps. He was a guard. He was the guard at the concentration camps.
Yeah, I don't know, man. All I know is, like you said, that's a waste of money for one. For two, evil motherfuckers live the longest out of everybody. I swear to God. I'd just be like, how are you still alive? You know what I'm saying? But evil niggas live long. Corey, go ahead.
No, I was sitting up there. So what did he do again? What did the 94-year-old do again?
He was a guard in the
the mass killings when they had the Nazis had out of Jews, the concentration camp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, man, shit. Take him down, shit. Gas him, shit. He probably think, I mean, he probably 94, probably don't even know what the hell going on, but, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I think that'll make it. I think that'll make it even more interesting, don't you think? Throw him in the gas. You don't even got to strap him down. Throw him in the gas chamber. Tell him you pay. Tell him it's bingo day or something. Watch him flop around. But I don't advocate. I'm joking. I'm not an advocate for the death penalty, so I'm joking, y'all. But I do think all people should be tried, even if they get too old. You still have to. Yeah, you got to have your day in court. You can't just let it go. You gotta have your day in court. So yeah, I think he should. I think he should have to face the music and be tried for those crimes. No matter how long it is.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you gotta leave old man Ackerman alone.
Just let him.
And the last news you can't use. Scott Disick, of course, we all know Scott Disick because he used to mentor one of the Kardashians. Well, apparently, him and Courtney went out to dinner with his new girl, his new wife. And let me tell you, from all reports, wasn't nobody eating. Wasn't nobody eating at dinner. So, Now we can move on, folks. That's news you can't use, and as you can see, you can't use that shit for nothing.
Get the game, bro.
So we're gonna move on to politics, and of course, today is the day. Did you go vote? Did you not go vote? Midterm elections. I think what I would say what I expected to happen is happening, which is the Democrats are taking back some of the seats that they lost when Trump took over office. I'm not really all that surprised. I was pulling for your guy in Texas, but you know, he should have wore his cowboy hat today. But nah, I mean, this is the most interesting thing I would think. Me and my wife talking about this the other day. The reason Trump won is because the Democrats had the wrong candidate. Like Hillary wasn't the right candidate to run. Period. Yeah. So, I think a lot of people was just looking for something different. Here come Trump with all his promises, and we fell hook, line, and sinker. Now, the one thing I will say is that the unemployment rate is at its lowest that it's been in quite some time. So I don't know if you want to give Trump credit for that, but that has happened. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I think you see a lot of swings just like this. Democrats take the House. The Republicans take the Senate. The Democrats take the Senate. The Republicans take the House. It's kind of a rotation, and so yeah. I mean, it's like I said, I'm not surprised, and I know votes are still coming in, so all the precincts aren't quite closed yet. But I'm not surprised that Democrats have taken back some of the seats that they lost. I mean, because it was a big surprise, some of the states that they lost seats in anyway. So it's not a surprise. Just a part of course swing.
All right, where you want to go next?
Corey, what you think?
Oh man, the Democrats just took control of the House. I really don't know. I'm not the most adept, when it comes to politics. I do know that, the Democratic Party, and I'll say this: people need to vote, even if it doesn't count. Just try to go as if it does count, because who knows, in the end, what I'm saying, where what meets in the middle, where how much it's affected. So let's try, even if it seems futile. Hey, throw something against the wind. The Democratic, because what they stand for, it may not be necessarily directly for black people. And I'm talking to black folk, because we've been pissed off out of, and it's this reason for it's no reason to trust the government. But you still gotta try to be active and actually try. But they it's like, it's not directly for us. It's not, it's not for black people directly. And that's something we should have, something that, that does help the black race exclusively, something, to protect them just as Jews are protected, and, things like that, and receiving reparations, and, or, mending what's been done to them. But you still gotta, stuff like that still trickles down. You still benefit from it in a way. So you gotta go out there and vote. Now, I didn't vote for this. I didn't vote for this because I just recently, got up on, as many people did, I got up on what midterms are and everything. And hell, I was about to go vote and then realized I didn't even register to fucking vote. So applaud, as Star says, applaud my dumb ass. Applaud my dumb ass. I'm ready to go out and make a difference, and yeah, didn't even register. So yeah, it's fucked up. But nah, yeah, go. Seems like more people went out. They turned out, even down here in Texas, Beto put up a good fight. But this is what they say, a red state down here in Texas. You know, they always gonna be the. They
Yeah,
gonna
y'all got some bloods down there, big. Got some blood.
Bracking. It's bracking. So
Paru.
nah, it's but like I said, I'm saying before, even before, more people are getting aware, and this is gonna carry over toward the next election, the next presidential election, because more people are getting aware and involved with things in politics. Now, politics is all bullshit. I don't like the bipartisanship. I think you should have the best possible candidates, best top two candidates. Fuck having it in the Democrats and Republicans. That's just like damn Eastern and Western Conference. Like that's in sports, or AFC and NFC. You having the best representatives of that when the two best teams in the league could be in the AFC. You know what I'm saying? So you're losing out. So yeah, they should have that. They should have it like that. I'm not saying have it like that in sports, but they should have that like that within politics, instead of this whole keeping it bipartisan. And there's other you got independent parties. There's other parties, but they're just not funded. They don't have the same funding as Democrats and the Republican. So no, I really don't like politics, but it is interesting. And it is part of a part of our life. You know what I'm saying? It's part of our lifestyle, even if it doesn't affect you specifically, which it does in some way, even if it's not something that you feel. But it could affect the next person. Affect the next person too. So, no, just go out there. At least try. Just put a vote in, and that's for the next election. You do have the right not to vote, but have a good reason. Have a good reason, and don't go off of YouTube videos and shit like that. And for the people that do vote, don't have it just I'm a Republican, so I'm gonna vote Republican, or a Democrat, I'm gonna vote Democrat. That's dumb as hell. That's very foolish. Foolish way of thinking. Take time out your day. People take time out their day for all other bullshit. I know we busy. People got work, kids, things like that. But this is another part of life that pertains. It's things, politics, or government. It's an important part of your life, whether they're fake or whatever they are. However you perceive them, it's an important part to your life. So you gotta keep your eye on that type of thing. And don't always have knowledge, have an understanding. If you are gonna involve anything you involve yourself in, have a knowledge of it. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever do anything blindly. That's very ignorant. But it's good to see, man. And this is what I like. This is the good thing. This is what I wanted. From the Trump. This is why I wanted Trump in office. Now I didn't vote Trump or anything. I didn't vote for anybody within that election. No, I didn't vote for no damn Trump. But I wanted Trump. Once I saw that Trump was running and he was their candidate, he was the Republican candidate, and I realized he had made it that far, I was like, even after all he was doing, and I'm saying everybody, like, that nobody's saying, hey, stop the show. Fuck it. We're not even going to keep talking about politics until we get this motherfucker over here removed. Like, no, they kept it going. They kept the show going. They kept it running. It was crazy. I was like, man, they need to go ahead and put Trump in. Need to go ahead and have him in. So this will wake a lot of people up to different things. Now, one oversight that I made in the process was the Supreme Court, and how he'd go in, and I didn't realize how much power the president had, as far as, the mechanics of how he works within, picking the Supreme Court members and things like that. And it's like, man, those guys stay in for 50 to 60 years. So that's detrimental. So that was an oversight that I made in, making that, and me actually wanting that. But the things that I wanted out of it, as far as people seeing how just corrupt the whole bipartisanship system, the politics, is everything, just how what's the word, hypocritical, just slimy, just how it is in general. They just get to see it up front. It's not something that has to be put on a conspiracy video or anything. All you got now is just straight truth. It's not even, we're not even saying facts. You got the damn truth, because when you hear it, yeah, there's different things that could go on behind the scenes. They could be trying to lead you this way or that way, but when you listen to the words that they speak and you listen just to how they move, you see that this is a corrupt system, and you seeing how it's everything that this country's always been. It's everything that it's always been. So no, it's people are able to see that. It's peeling back the curtains on that, and at the same time, and this is another reason why I wanted it. More people will become involved in on important issues like this. It'll actually become fun, and they'll start looking more into things, because things will ramp up, and they'll see, like we said, they'll see what's going on TV. You know what I'm saying? They can try to spin it any way they want, but it's a bunch of hateful rhetoric and just just like I said, just real corrupt things going on. So they're seeing it now, and people are interested in politics. People that never would have gave a fuck about it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are interested. So, and that's going to turn over. You know what I'm saying? That's going to turn over into the next election, 2020.
Yep.
You're going to see a lot of people turning out at these polls. So it'll be interesting.
I agree. Randy, go ahead and jump in there, brother.
Well, I'm just going to let y'all know this now. The last couple weeks have been very hectic for your boy. But did I vote? Nope. It wasn't because you have a right to vote. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't because of all that. I really didn't take really into consideration and look into every last thing that they got on these ballots and shit like that. I didn't do any research for a lot of the stuff that was on the ballots that affects me. And trust me, today I heard some fucking news that's gonna affect me and a lot of people. But it's gonna affect a lot of motherfuckers, and it's gonna affect me more than it's gonna affect. It's gonna affect y'all, but it's gonna affect me more. With all that being said, I didn't vote. I didn't feel like I had the right knowledge to go in there and mark, have everything that I wanted to mark, and know exactly what am I and what are you gonna get out of everything. So yeah. I didn't vote. I'll be honest with you. So yeah, that's it.
Well, what'd you find out? If you care to disclose, you can keep it secret if you want to. But what did you find out?
I will have to tell you a little bit off air. I couldn't tell you on air.
All right.
I'm gonna say, well, of course I went out and voted, because that's I guess the way I look at it is, people that came before us that fought for our right to vote, especially black people. So I take that very serious, as far as the right to vote, when beforehand we didn't. Well, actually we had it and then we lost it. But I mean, I do my research, understanding the positions and the amendments, amendments being more important than the propositions for those that don't know. And then obviously the different candidates. I think I wrote in Bill Cosby on one of my ballots. I was just glad I didn't do that shit. But there were some that I left blank. I didn't vote for the only candidate. And I think that's where I think in a lot of ways that becomes, I think, one of the easiest ways for a candidate to win if there ain't nobody running against them.
Yeah.
But when you exercise your right to vote, exercise your right not to vote for the candidate. Right. You know what I'm saying? If you don't see the candidate that you think is going to best represent you, write them in, or don't vote for whoever's on the ballot. There's nobody holding a gun in your hand saying you have to vote for every single thing that's on the ballot. Vote for what you know and what you have knowledge of. The rest you leave it blank. But at least it gives a vote towards something that you want supported, or something that you're, against, because it was interesting. There were 3 propositions here that pretty much read the exact same, and you really had to read the finite details to decide which one to pick, and it all came down to tax percentages. Is what it came down to. You know what I'm saying? And it was because a lot of these things in this particular one had to do with healthcare and things like that. You know, extra, a tax increase to support, more mental health care and things of that capacity. Of course, you always have the scientific research on every single ballot. It don't matter. They're going to find something that they wanted to borrow some tax dollars for to do some research about. I think this particular one was about cigarettes and cancer, or tobacco and cancer, I guess, of all things. So, I mean, yeah, I went out and voted. I'm not a vote or die type of person. I think that's a bad slogan. But I do think it is important, if you think it's important, to exercise your right to vote. Like, I know a lot of people that don't have good reasons not to vote, and that's not a good reason not to vote. Like, have your reasoning to vote or for not voting. Like, give an actual reason versus I just didn't vote. Like, Corey, yours is unique. I forgot to register. Knocks you out of there. You know what I'm saying? But understand that what you don't do can come back and bite you in the ass. I'm not talking about registering a vote, but a lot of people say, well, my vote doesn't matter. And it's in one perspective, maybe, but in a whole nother perspective, if you really have something that you're passionate about, like, you got to talk to other people in your circles and get them to buy in or whatever you're trying to sell. You know what I'm saying? So let your voice be heard is what I'll say. And a vote is a way to do that.
All right. Quick commercial break. What is good, you guys? This is your boy Randy Anderson here with the Average Guy Podcast. What I need you guys to do is to make sure you go to Facebook and look up the Average Guy Podcast. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notifications buttons. And also, Grit Sports Media on Facebook. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification buttons for all your sports needs, man. Make sure you also follow the Instagram is the Average Guy Podcast on Instagram. You'll be able to find all the new episodes. You'll be able to find stuff that just like comes to the top of my head, and I'll be like, oh, I might want to talk about this, and I'll toss it up there, and so you guys can give me you guys' feedback and everything else on that. But yeah, make sure you guys go do all of that. Subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, man. The Average Guy Podcast, Grit Sports Media, and now back to our scheduled entertainment.
So our last segment is what we are going to title the Intellects Corner. And the question posed by my man Corey is, did our predecessors fail us? This is a very, very layered question. So Corey, I'm gonna let you jump into it first.
No, it's just a quick question. It's just basically how we see. I wanted people to weigh in, and if you're watching, weigh in. Do you feel like our predecessors failed us? Do you feel like we're succeeding? It's all about how you see and how you view what's going on today. But did they fail us? Did they, a lot has been done to railroaders, but did we take the bait? Did our predecessors take the bait? Our parents, grandparents, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And not talking about, slavery, anything like that, but talking about since we've been, so to say, freedmen, not necessarily free, but, had liberty by the right definition of liberty. So, it's just a question I'm posing. You can start it off with what you think.
Wow, a loaded question. It's a loaded question. I think in some areas you can say absolutely. I think the biggest area for me is economically. Like, I think economically, yeah, I think they definitely failed us. You know, and we're still failing right now, you know. So if we become the predecessors, we are failing, you know, at the current juncture. Uh, you know, and it's understanding the importance and the value of your dollar as an individual, how you invest that dollar, you know, because, you know, I remember a day when we was wearing the shit out of Tommy Hilfiger. All black people was wearing the shit out of Tommy Hilfiger until Tommy Hilfiger went on TV and was like, I don't really care about black people. I don't give a shit if they wear my clothes or not. Matter of fact, I prefer they don't wear my clothes. Yeah. And so, you know, it all comes down to understanding. And the value of the dollar, interestingly enough, goes back to value of self. You know what I'm saying? You know, you throw your dollars here, you throw your dollars there. What really happens with your dollar? You know what I'm saying? And I think that, you know, part of the inclusion thought process really breeded that. You know, we were so focused on inclusion. You know, segregation wasn't a bad word by definition. You know, it just sounded bad. You know what I'm saying? Say to segregate simply means to separate. You know what I'm saying? And it sounded bad. You know, we wanted what we thought we wanted is not exactly what we attacked. You know, we didn't want, at least I don't feel like we should have desired for this all-inclusive nature. I mean, nothing is all-inclusive. You know, the only time something is all-inclusive is when the creator designs it to be like that. And it wasn't designed to be, like, America wasn't designed to be inclusive, in all honesty. You know, America was designed to get in how you fit in, you know, get your money how you get your money. That's how America was designed. Seriously, we're going to take it from you. If we want it, we're going to take it by any means necessary. And so, you know, the civil rights era had some flaws in what they were fighting for, at least the philosophy of what they were fighting for. You know, we're a very, very strong culture, you know, but we have glaring weaknesses that we allow other people to take advantage of. And so, you know, you let the devil in, he's gonna do his work. You know what I'm saying? And so I think economically would be, I think, where I see the biggest failure, opportunity, if you want to put a different type of, you know, government came in and did their thing to us. You know, they broke up our homes. You know what I'm saying? They brought drugs into our communities and things of that nature, and then tried to blame us for the shit they gave to us. You know, but we weren't policing our communities in the right manner either. You know, because if we were policing our communities in the right manner, you know, shit like that really don't happen. You know, or at least not on such of a grand scale. You know, because if you look at it now, I mean, we still, you know, are fighting the judicial system and how it treats us. You know, I mean, how many, the percentage of people of color that are locked in prisons. Prisons are, oh, man, that's a whole nother conversation, really. That's a whole nother conversation, to be honest with you. But failure and success is all individualized, honestly. You know, one man's success may be another guy may think that's failure. You know, so I think that is subjective. But yeah, yes and no. Yes and no is my ultimate answer.
Yeah, yes and no. Yes and no. Well,
Okay.
what you think? You want to go, Randy?
Yeah. Yes, like Lauren said, yes and no. In my point of view, yes, because a lot of the stuff that was taught to them, they never talked to I guess you say not my generations, but my parents in their generations, from back then, and they never taught it to us. So what we have to do is all the stuff that we learn from the internet and shit like that. Thanks to the internet, we can teach and our kids and stuff like that we will be able to hopefully break the cycle, even though it's not looking like that for a lot of parents and a lot of kids, because the internet is also, as it is good, it is bad. So hopefully some of us can break the cycle for this. But
it touches on a lot of people's, and the internet uh multiplies a lot of people's insecurities.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, how I'm trying to put it into words. How I look at it is me doing what I'm doing right now and having to deal with some of the shit that I got to deal with off air and on air is I'm glad I have to go through the stuff that I have to go through, so the next generation doesn't have to do it. And like it kind of reverts back to the election stuff like that, when they say when Lauren said vote because your ancestors didn't have the right to, or whatever. I guess you could bring it back to that. It's so many different things we could bring it back to, but my whole thing is my generation. Hopefully, we can teach our kids and our kids' kids to be better than what my generation didn't teach us. So I'm just going off a generational as outlook on it.
And that's what that's an interesting flaw, especially in our communities. Is the objective, at least in my opinion, is for you to build the foundation for your kids to climb off of, right? And it's very interesting that, and I don't know that this is necessarily a cultural thing. I just understand the dynamics of it within our culture, is that we don't advance our children. Like, we want them to stay in the same shitty ass situations that we're in, and some of it is you don't know better. So if you don't know better, it's hard to teach better, in our truthfulness. I mean, it's that simple. If you don't know better, it's hard to teach better. But like, listen, like, for real, like, we lead with these iron fists, and I'm the boss. Do what I say, Don't do as you see me. Just do what the fuck I say, And no, like, the relationship with your child is like any other relationship. You're supposed to learn from each other. Every kid that you have is different, so you can't treat all kids the same. Every kid has something about them that's different from an individual standpoint. So, I just wanted to touch on that because you kind of brought that up. I always say this about females and males alike, is it's hard to teach a kid how to love and be loved when you didn't get it from your parents because your parents didn't get it from their parents. So it's just that generational cycle of what that shit really means, and that's not subjective to just the black race. That's just human nature in general. When you see a lot of the homes now, teenage parents, what the fuck does a teenage parent really know about, raising a kid? Nothing. Like, for real, you still a kid.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that is true, and so, there's a few people out there that break that mold, but, from generation to generation, it gets tougher as you see these younger parents, and they still trying to figure out what life and love and the pursuit of happiness is about. And they got this kid that's right underneath them, like, show me.
Right, yeah.
And you like, I'm trying to figure this shit out. But by the time you figure it out, they fucking grown.
Mm-hmm.
And they got kids and they didn't get it because so it's just that cycle, man. And it's such a scary cycle, man. It is scary. It's like,
That's real deep. Where you just went right there, and I look, and whoever's watching, y'all need to peep what he just said right there. By the time they figure that out, the kids are grown. It never stops. The cycle, it never stops. The learning never stops. And so we think because we get a grown. A lot of us think because we hit about 19, we grown now. You a grown woman, a grown man now. Can't nobody tell me nothing. I'm grown. Shit like that, not understanding.
But the flip side to that is, you're treated like that. Are you 18? Oh no, you grown. You go figure it out now. Mama got you this far. Now you got to go figure out the rest. And it's like, well, shit. I wanted to go to college. Figure that shit out, boo boo.
Yeah.
Figure that shit out. Like, you grown now. That shit ain't on me. It's like, they still a kid. You still need to impart some wisdom and give them some direction. And you just basically then threw them out in the real world and said, high five. See you at Thanksgiving. I'm cooking on Thanksgiving. Come on through.
That's definitely true because I guess in my situation, what happened was I had to grow up faster than a lot of people I went to school with. You know what I'm saying? Because my father passed away, and as soon as that happened, I had to become the man of the house. So I had to take care of both of my little brothers. You know what I'm saying? I had to make sure I watched over them. I had to make sure I attempted to get a job, you know what I'm saying, and actually put money into the house. So it would be less stress on my moms and shit like that. So, I mean, yeah. It's a case-by-case basis, but once you're able to break that and you're able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Implement a new outlook on your kids and on your parents and on I just lost it, man. I just lost it, but oh man, it can get deep, but yeah, man, just
that happens to me too.
Just I understand the nature of where you're going with that, though. You know what I'm saying? Set a new precedent.
Right.
Set a new precedent going forward. Yeah, no, I totally understand what you're talking about. Yep.
That I think the correct answer was given perfectly. You gave it perfectly, Lauren. Was yes and no at the same time because the same and I don't want to say necessarily failed. We wouldn't have the liberties. First of all, there wouldn't be any liberties. And this is relevant to what when I posed the question. It was before I had this conversation today, but talking with a black older man at work, and he has a lot of dialogue, and he said, he talks a lot of some conservative talking points. He's funny as hell listening to him, but he talks a lot of conservative Republican talking points. I'm not Democrat or anything like that, so it's not like me versus him or anything like that. But just me taking notice of what he says, and he talks about shoot, if America's the worst place in the world, you've heard that before. If it's America's so bad, why does everybody keep coming here? And things like that, and America has its benefit. It's not the best place in the world. Those countries doing better. But as far as it's up there, it's up there as far as the way society is able to move. As far as freedom, the different freedom, not liberties, the liberties that we have, because it ain't freedom, but the liberties that we have. And you see around the world, like, the things we can do here, people will get killed automatically for doing. Just speaking against different things. You saw the thing with Jamal Khashoggi in Saudi Arabia, the Washington Post journalist. He was killed for speaking his mind. So we definitely have our liberties and definitely have a lot of rights, a lot of different rights, but understood that these rights and these liberties of all these different groups. Remember, if it wasn't for black people fighting and losing their lives over this stuff, we're fighting for civil rights. If it wasn't for that, man, it wouldn't be none of this. America would still be moving like moving like South Africa, moving like South Africa
Yeah,
and
yeah,
apartheid. You know, and
yeah.
that's basically what it was. And the only difference was, you know, from the South Africans, and they were able to, you know, find the strength. To, you know, they haven't got everything back, but they've been recovering their land back. But they're still close to home. They're still
Mm-hmm.
close to home, or they're still close to culture. Whereas, you know, we get let off the plantations,
Another thing.
and now now we're fighting for rights, but we have to. It's still their culture. It's still a white man's culture, and that's American culture. So we integrate into that, which is what happened when we fighting into integration, and then we thinking we made it. You know what I'm saying? And fell asleep. You know, basically fell asleep. Uh, just a bunch of all it was tricks, and like I said, you had the crack epidemic in the '80s. You know, different things like that. So yeah, we took the bait. Um, and it's done some irreparable, uh, damn near irreparable damage mentality as a whole. Now we got it's a lot of black people and everything doing very well, and it's a lot of them, but it's a noticeable amount. It's a high number and a very noticeable amount of people that are being affected by just degenerate behavior, as you
Mm-hmm.
would say, that a lot of us fall victim to. Hell, I fell victim to it too. You know what I'm saying? But it's gotta call it what it is. It's degenerate behavior, male and females, and it's each culture has different stuff like that. But the thing about the black culture is it it's celebrated. It's celebrated and it's celebrated and sold to us as our culture. And so yeah, but we so yeah, it's a yes and no. It is a yes and no because we wouldn't even have the with freedom to do these certain things, if it wasn't for our predecessors. But at the same time, taking the bait and falling asleep. Huh?
And I'll tell you, this is where we get in trouble, and this goes generation to generation. Is that you refuse to learn from the errors from the past?
Yeah.
Like, how often do we do this shit all the time? Well, shoot, man, we had Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
did have Black Wall Street. You were absolutely 100% correct about that. What is it about Black Wall Street that failed that going forward we don't make those same mistakes?
Because
Like, how do?
and people
Yeah, go
don't
ahead.
even people don't even know that there was still black. It got reconstructed.
Mm-hmm.
Black Wall Street got reconstructed, so it was still moving. It was still on and going, even within the Jim Crow era. The family unit was more together then. It was when the civil rights were implemented and they started having a welfare program and different things like that, helping people, which were good things. They were good things. And I personally, I've heard this different stories. I personally don't believe those were ill intentioned because they like to sell that as it was something. They put welfare so black people would stop working and they just defend on the program. And I don't think that was the intentions of it. It ended up going that direction because, like I said, we fell asleep. It's clearly something where if we have our shit together, we can take advantage of it. It's not reparations. It's far from that. It's not reparations. There's a lot more that needs to be repaired there's a lot more repaired for the damage that's been done over centuries, but it's something that you can build upon, and it's stuff that different groups do use. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it was necessarily made. That wasn't its intentions. And so, like I said, we've integrated in society. We become selfish, and thinking about us, and getting our money, and you trying to you worried about trying to fall into what we were seeing on TV, and uh, that man, it's all, it just got all screwed up. It just got all screwed up in the process, and now we've lost that togetherness, and we've lost the blueprint on how to even get those Black Wall Streets. And there's successful Black neighborhoods out here. Let's get that clear. They just don't get spotlighted. There's successful Black neighborhoods in America, but we have the opportunity to do the same within, the inner cities. There is opposition. You'll get opposition within that too. It's not going to be a piece of cake. But this is where we talk about you got to be you got to be not just 3 times better, got to be 10 times better than everybody else, because there's opposition against you. Speak out against it too, because people will say, well, that's not fair. We shouldn't have to do that, but that's the way it fucking is. So while you're being 10 times better than everybody else at whatever it is, if they require 100 to pass, that means you better get a damn 1,000. You know what I'm saying, on whatever test, to pass it. And we don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? We'll get deterred. We'll get deterred and be like, life ain't fair. And you're damn right. Life's not fair, but you got a generation of kids that you have to look after. You cannot give up, or I'm going to hop in the dope game and shit like that, going back to selling dope and shit like that, because if you fall, you're letting your child down. Especially you got kids, you're letting your child down. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a few years, because those are few years off your child's life that you could have been teaching them different things, and you can't do that from behind the damn jail cell. Can't do that from behind the jail cell. And we got to make sure women are falling out of those societal standards, and they have to get practical too. We're too impractical right now. We just focused on useless things and putting useless values and standards on things that are just stuff that is just fluff for TV, instead of things that'll actually advance us as a society. So nah, man, it's a lot. We got to do stuff. Got to think about the children. Got to think about the children and how we move.
And
I kind of lost my. What you say?
Oh, I was gonna say, and it's one thing that you kind of skated over, or like that we all skated over, but it's culture. We don't have culture, so we don't know how to send off our kids and give them culture, because we don't have any culture, and our predecessors have failed. I guess you would say our predecessors have failed us in that regards, because we don't have any culture. At least
shit, I got culture, boy. If you saw these socks I had on right now, shit, show you some culture on my feet.
We have culture. We just gotta gotta learn the value in it. We gotta learn to start valuing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Stop selling ourselves away and learn what we got. You know what I'm saying? When we got gold, especially, just like, hey, this is just, I'm not gonna say this what it is, but this is a theory that they say. Hey, they say we was on Africa and we didn't realize the different resources that we had, and we letting other motherfuckers come in and take advantage of that. And we doing the same thing here in America, not realizing what we have and keeping it to where it's not, we gonna kick other races out. No, we're all inclusive, but we gonna have control of that stuff, especially when we're the source of it. Especially when we're the source of it. So we've done that with, man, everything, man. Sports, music, anything you can possibly think of, man. We're selling ourselves away, and then taking, and then in return, just we're letting other people tell our story, and this is what we're getting, and this is why we're getting what we get today. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge part of the problem. Not everything, but it's a huge part of the problem. So.
Okay. I understand. I got where you coming from. What was you gonna say, Lauren?
Absolutely nothing. I think we touched well on that topic.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely nothing. Randy, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it back over to you for wrap up, brother.
Oh, we wrapping it up. All right, cool. So, before we wrap it up real quick, let me make sure I remind you guys to go follow the Facebook page, The Average Guy Podcast, Grit Sports Media, for all your sports needs. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, and make sure you guys hit the notification so whenever we go on live for either the Average Guy Podcast or Grit Sports, you guys will know immediately. Also, the Facebook or the YouTube page is the Average Guy Studios. Make sure you go subscribe to that. We are back in effect with that. Mixer is the Average Guy Podcast, and also Ace Junior 2010. For all your game, like if you guys like to watch gaming and stuff like that, that's what I do on that channel. The Instagram page is the Average Guy Podcast for anything that pops up on my head that I just want to toss out there for you guys to be like, oh yeah, we should have a conversation about this. Yeah, make sure you guys do that. What else? There's nothing else. Is there anything else that we need to put out real quick? Oh, shout out to Rachel, Dennis, and Sheena Turner. Shout out to those average guys and average girls, man. They've been showing a lot of love over the last week and a half, and I will start shouting you guys out more often when I do see you guys. You know what I'm saying? So I am going to start paying more attention to that, and I will start shouting people out. Now we go back to the regular shit. Get it off your chest, good, bad, or indifferent. If you have anything good, bad, or indifferent, get off your chest today. Right now is the time to do it. Anybody got anything to get off their chest?
My bad. I just want to wish a speedy recovery to Tina Turner. For those that don't know, Tina Turner had a stroke, and a pretty bad one. So speedy recovery. You know what I'm saying? One of the exotic entertainers, one of the more exotic, versatile entertainers we've had from our culture and the history of us doing music. So, you know, don't let Ike take you down now, Tina. Don't let him take you down, Anime.
All right, Corey, you got anything?
Beyond the grave.
Right. You got anything, Corey?
No. As far as back to what I'm saying, let's get practical. Stop the killing and stop the killing. Stop killing each other. Y'all don't understand. Y'all affecting more. Y'all contributing to the hopelessness, man. We already seeing how black people get treated, man, and then we killing each other, man. You looking on the news every day, and I know that affected me as a child. It affected me as a child, and it's affecting many children when you just looking every day. You see your people arguing with each other, conflict with each other over petty things, and you just seeing them RIP. Seeing whether in your community, in his own neighborhood or looking on TV. It may not be somebody who don't even live around there, but they see somebody that looks like them, and they constantly seeing different individuals of the same color and end up dying, at an early age. So how are they supposed to expect to, live long,
Right.
Well, 25 sounds like a far gone conclusion to them, especially to a childish mind. Like you said, childish, children think childish things. You know what I'm saying? I forget what the exact saying to that is, but it's a child because you're gonna have childish thoughts. And even well into your teens. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we keep seeing, if that's all you keep seeing constantly, you tend to believe that you don't have a real chance out here. And that's not everybody. Like I said, but that affects a lot of children. That's a lot of children's problems. So then they end up not getting the ball rolling. They won't even listen to their parents. Parents got to understand how to address those certain things also. But a lot of times they won't even listen to their parents because they feel like, they feel like life is hopeless. It's that simple. Something as simple as just seeing that consistent imagery and fuck with a person's mind. So we got to realize, stop being selfish. Stop being selfish and realize, it's bigger than our own personal things. It's bigger than us. It's not just our life that we're living for. We're here to keep a cycle going as a body.
Yeah.
So that's all I got.
All right, and shit, as you said that, R.I.P. Da Baby, Da Baby, D.A. Baby. shot and killed. So I mean, that's another rapper gone. It's another rapper
What?
gone. Yeah.
I thought that dude. I didn't know who he was, but I thought he shot and killed somebody.
It says well on here it says he was killed.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this could be wrong. But hey, if that's false news, I apologize. But
I didn't look into it when I saw it. I just remember scrolling on YouTube and I saw a headline and it said, look like it said he shot and killed. Oh, well, nah, I can't think he was. Yeah. No, wait a minute. Nah, yeah, he killed.
Hold on.
Yeah, he killed the person.
Right,
Nah, he didn't die. He shot a motherfucker in
well,
Walmart. Yeah, somebody tried to rob him in Walmart. Hey, y'all better watch out in Walmart. It's always people getting robbed in Walmart, trying to get robbed in Walmart, man. You better watch out.
It is.
Better have
It is wolf season, so yeah,
always.
watch out.
Especially around the holidays, Black Friday.
Yep.
Y'all come out and y'all probably Christmas time, right after Christmas or Christmas Eve and stuff. Y'all out there, especially going around at nighttime, it's snowing. Y'all up in Kansas City, freezing, snowing. Y'all going up there. Wolves is out there. They on you. So y'all better they come out there prepared. Cause that's so shout out to him. Shout out to him that he was able to. Yeah, I don't think he got killed. He did the killing. I don't promote that, but I promote self-defense. I promote self-defense all the way. So shout out to him that he's split a motherfucker's wig trying to fuck around, man. Shout out to him.
All right, on that note, I got a couple things I can get off my chest. First things first, in fantasy football, if you are nowhere near gonna make the playoffs, just go ahead and accept every trade that you get, because you know you're not gonna make the playoffs. You 1-7. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, you're 1-7, dog. You're not finna make the playoffs, man. So just give up Julio Jones for a couple people and a draft pick. That's all you gotta do, my dude. Just you're not gonna make it. So just give up Julio Jones to somebody that's in tie with first place, like myself with 7-2. Just give him up. You know what I'm saying? I need him. I need a good receiver. I need a good backup receiver. But and more, I guess you would say, serious news. Man, I just want to let you guys know that I appreciate everything. Besides the young lady who keeps coming at me and saying I hate black women, but I love you too. Regardless,
she keeps coming.
Yeah, she keeps coming.
Hey, Shay, feel free to hop on the show. Shay, we can talk about it on the show. You can call him out on the show.
Please do.
So you know who it is?
Huh? I mean, she's popped up. She's popped up on my Snapchat every now and again. And so, I mean, hey.
You're gonna have to explain itself. Dude, people gonna have to start doing more explaining themselves. That's if you want to see change. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have dialogue now. You don't have to, but you know what I'm saying. But that shit gonna keep going the way it is. But people just throwing out little statements and you hate this and trying to tell you what you are. Tell them.
Probably because you got good hair.
Yeah. You gonna have to pinpoint some shit. I hear that shit all the time. I hear that shit. You hate black women. Somebody hate black women. Why? Is it because somebody calls them out on some shit or whatever? I don't know. So who knows? You don't even know what the hell you're talking about. How are we able to reference what you what you're even referring to, man?
Right.
Come on, y'all. Be more specific. Y'all just throwing out shit with grown people.
And on the up and up note, I am working on getting my Google number, so we'll be able to take calls. I don't know how I'm gonna do it just yet. We're gonna run this through us three, and then we'll come back and then we'll let you guys know the number where you guys can call and stuff like that. What's up, Lauren? You got something?
Don't be calling on the bullshit, because I'm gonna call your ass out. You call on the air with some bullshit, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah.
Just letting you know I'm gonna get your ass.
Yeah, and with those episodes, I don't know exactly how it will work. We'll work it out and then we'll let you guys know. But yeah, man. It's been episode 90, man. Episode 90. They're gonna be coming out with some, and I'm so pissed off that there's 2 episodes that has some fire on it that unfortunately won't be heard because of some technical difficulties. But episode 90, man, we out here. The Average Guy Podcast, Average Guy Studios. Also Grit Sports Media. Make sure you guys go follow, subscribe, and hit them notification buttons. YouTube, SoundCloud, The Average Guy Podcast.
Notification, hit that damn like and share. Tell somebody, get engaged, get your asses up.
That's facts. And also, make sure you guys go ahead and smack that heart button on the SoundCloud. And also on I think iTunes. iTunes has it as well. And also if you send emails, we do answer. You know what I'm saying? Or you guys can just pop up live. You know what I'm saying? We'll do the phone call thing. We'll be working on it. We'll be working on more stuff for you guys to actually get involved in and stuff like that. And also, oh boy, a couple people liked the last episode with Kia and my cousin Lauren on it. So just know there might be another episode coming up pretty soon. That, you know what I'm saying? That might have some people interest. What's good?
It's gonna be the black top table, not the red top table, the black top table.
Yeah.
And so yeah, man. On that note, man, we are out, man. I love you guys. Till Thursday, man, 9 o'clock.